They dropped the ball.
Hello?
Hello?
Brian?
I
Welcome
think
back
my
to the
Skype
ONG
froze.
Strike
So
Okay, there we go. I don't know.
Okay, there you go.
My screen froze. All right. Baseball. All right. Hey, welcome back to ONG Strike Zone. Bro and Kofi is the head ball coach, our head baseball coach. Coach Shaq on with us. Start 2023. Happy New Year, Coach.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Coach.
Good to have you back. And we are really, it's crazy to think we are one way from the start of the season. When I looked at the schedule, because Kelvin was like, "Hey, we got to get Coach Shouppe on," and I said, "It's time for baseball already," and it just rolls right up on us, and here we are. I've seen the preseason polls already out. What kind of tell us a little bit about the fall? How was the fall season? Because obviously we know there's fall ball to kind of get the guys and everybody primed. Give us a little recap on what fall ball was like for the Rattlers.
Give me a second, if you will, before I do that, and I definitely want to talk about the fall because it was a good fall for us. But I didn't listen to the earlier parts of the show, but what Willie Simmons did with the football program this year to go and have the first two games go as they went, and then to be able to rally those troops back and get those guys to finish undefeated throughout the rest of the season. I mean, that's hard to do for people that don't know sports and especially don't know football. I mean, you can lose a locker room in a hurry, with the way they played and the way that Jackson State played that first game against us. And Coach Simmons and his staff, man, to do that, that's coaching. And I don't know if that's said enough. Also, GoCon and the girls volleyball team to win back-to-back SWAC championships in the first 2 years. I mean, that's an amazing feat as well. So we're just trying to, rub shoulders with those two guys and kind of do what, their programs have done and really represent FAMU well in the SWAC, being our second year in the SWAC. It was a good fall season for us. The NCAA allows you to play 2 fall games. What we and most programs do in the country is we kind of split those games and make 2 games into 4 by playing 14 straight innings, but we, for a game and call it a game, and we really play 2 7-inning games. And so we were able to win all 4 of those games against junior college teams, play everybody. And, it's the first time since I've been here that we've won all 4 fall games. Better than that, and the reason we do what we do as coaches is to kind of secure the future for these young men that we are blessed to be able to coach. And better than that and greater than anything that happened on the field is what happened in the classroom. We had a 3.21 team GPA with 40 players, which is we had 20% of our guys, 8 of the 40 make a 4.0. So just extremely proud of my men and what they did in the classroom. Carrie Tollison did a great job again, academic advisor for those guys, and just happy. Looking forward to the season. Fall gave us a lot to look forward to because we got a lot to replace coming into this season. We return a lot, but yet we still have a lot of holes to fill as well. And I think we've done a good job recruiting to be able to fill those holes with players that the fans are going to enjoy seeing and they're going to help us win some ball games this spring.
For people who aren't familiar with how the fall season or that time works for baseball programs, do you think the time? Well, I guess there's 2 parts to that question. One, what kind of things are you able to do with your players? I mean, are any restrictions on the amount of time you have with them in the fall, and do you feel like it's enough to accomplish what you would like to be able to go into the spring doing, or would you love to see maybe, hey, I'd love to give us 2 weekends of games instead of just these 2 that everybody splits into 4?
Yeah, it's the fall's good. We have a 45-day window. Everybody in Division I baseball does a 45-day window in which we can get it's about 30 practices, depending on how you practice in the spring. it's all accumulated throughout the course of the season. But yeah, falls are good. I mean, it's fall. We don't practice a lot on weekends simply because we still want our men to be 18 and 20 and 22-year-old young men and enjoy college football season. Being a college student, being an 18, 20-year-old, go home, travel home. So I like what we do. We practice 5 days a week usually, and then as we get closer to the end, we start playing games. We practice even less than that. We hit the weight room hard, and again, it gives us a chance also to be able to concentrate on academics and accomplish what we were able to accomplish, academically as well. But I think the fall prepared us. We got a lot of questions answered, especially on the mound. We pitched very well last year. I think we were second or third in the SWAC in pitching last year. And we returned the best pitcher, I thought, in the SWAC, and definitely our pitcher in Hunter Veets, a guy that's, 88 to 92, 93, sometimes even 94 with his fastball. Got a good slider, got a good changeup, and competes his butt off. So excited about that. After him, there's not a whole lot that we returned. And we spent the fall spending our time working with these guys. And I'm excited about what I saw. I'm excited about the new pitching coach we had. I don't know if anybody or most of you guys probably know, but a lot of fans may not know that Coach Henry, Brian Henry, left our program to take over the Tallahassee Community College head coaching position there. Replaced a longtime friend, Mike McLeod of mine, a guy that coached me actually at Florida State years ago that retired. And so Coach Henry is now the head coach at TCC, which allowed us to bring in a guy that I'd known, a Tallahassee guy named Todd Alford. Who was not living in Tallahassee. He was living in Massachusetts at the time and has moved down here and did a great job this fall with our pitchers. As I said, first time since we've been doing this, since I've been here in the 10, 11 years that I've been here, that we've won all 4 of those fall games. So excited about that, excited to see exactly how we transition from fall to the spring. We've been on the field moving around the last 2 days. We'll do that for another 3 weeks. And then it's a start time of January 27th, Friday, January 27th, when everybody in college baseball begins practice. And that gives us 3 weeks to get ready of team practice to get ready for the season, which begins February 17th at home against Eastern Illinois. And, directional school, you don't hear much about Eastern Illinois. They're coached by a former major league pitcher named Jason Anderson, and they can pitch and they can play. They're a very, very good program. We'll have our work cut out for us at the early part of the season. We're doing again what we've done the last several years, and that's play a very, very tough out-of-conference schedule that hopefully will prepare us for a conference that's better than the MEAC and the SWAC. The SWAC, we got our eyes open to that last year. It's a very competitive, a league for baseball and for other sports as well, but a lot of coaches will tell you that they feel like the SWAC is a baseball conference, as good as it is in other sports. So we got to work cut out for us again this year, and we welcome the challenge. We're looking forward to getting on the field and getting things cranked up, and can't wait till February 17th gets here and we get to play.
Kelvin, go ahead.
I'm gonna hit you with old twofer, Coach. With the first question. With the first question, I want you to talk about. I know last year there was some chatter, and we thought we were going to get turf field, and that didn't kind of work out. And we were a little late getting the field in the condition that we wanted to. So how I want you to talk about how the field is right now. Since and then is there any chance turf field may happen down the road? And then the second part to my question is more about I saw where there's some potential NCAA legislation. I see they're talking about maybe expanding potentially scholarships in some of the Olympic sports and so forth. And I was wondering, have you heard that? And if so, would you be in favor of a few more scholarships available for your program?
First of all, Kelvin, I appreciate you, man. You've been a friend for several years since I came to FAMU, and you've always welcomed me and with open arms. So I appreciate you and your friendship. Glad to see you, part of this show as well. I know you're a big baseball fan too, so just appreciate you. The easier one of those two to answer is the scholarship. Obviously, anytime you're helping student athletes, I'd certainly be in favor of more scholarships. I don't know if that'll happen, even though sometimes we just now getting to the limit. The NCAA allowed allotment of scholarships. And there's two things. Not all, even though there's 11.7 scholarships college baseball, not all college programs have that. Especially some of us, programs that don't have all the whistles and bells that other programs have. So even though it may go bigger, I don't know if we'll be fortunate enough to do that or not financially within the university system and all. But hopefully we will. So again, I'm all in favor of it. The last question, the first question you asked about the field. I wish I had an answer for that. I would hope that our baseball facility, that some attention is paid to that. I feel neglected, honestly. It's kind of hard when you have such turnover in the athletic director's position as we've had at FAMU. I sat on the committee that hired Tiffany Dawn Sykes, and I'm excited about what she brings to FAMU. I hope part of that will be taking care of a sport that I feel like represents FAMU very, very well. As I mentioned, what we've done on the field, 2 championships, and also what I mentioned earlier about the academic and how well our guys represent themselves and the university in the classroom. Not only that, but in the community as well. So hopefully, I don't know the answer. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down. I don't think many coaches have. She just started last week, and I think she's been on the road to some fundraisers and other definitely things that are needed from that chair, from the AD's chair. So that's something I'll certainly bring up. I hope the answers are positive. I know she'll do what she can do for baseball and for all the sports at FAMU. Excited about her tenure here with us. The opportunity that's there for her with FAMU athletics. Welcome her. I'm glad that she's here. And I hope we can get a baseball field. I think all you got to do is walk out there and look. Baseball has not had any attention. The previous administration said they were getting ready to get to baseball, and then there was a change in that position. So, softball's got turf, football's got turf, the band's got turf. We were supposed to be next to get turf, and then it's kind of fell to the side in the events of the last year or so. So hopefully you keep pushing that for me, Kelvin. I hope all of you do. And it certainly benefit. Here's the reason why. I'm a purist, and when it comes to the game of baseball, I'd rather play on grass. But our kids work on that field like 30 minutes before every practice and 30 minutes after every practice, and it gets old. I mean, that's not part of their job obligation when they come to FAMU to represent us. And with all the things they have going on with classrooms, with practice time and all, there's other things that obviously rather be doing, but it's a necessity. We kill ourselves as coaches working on that baseball field. So I just hope that can happen. I'm sure the football coaches, the softball coaches, even the band and the directors there will tell you what a convenience it is to just know that you can walk out and practice without all the setup and all the preparing and dragging the field and cleaning up that you have to do on a natural surface.
Just go ahead and mention also, Coach, since we own this, the facilities when you travel to SWAT facilities, the difference that you're recruiting against.
We're way down. I mean, there are 12 teams in the SWAC. I've been to our 6. We're probably 4th on our side, and there are some great facilities. Grambling, Southern have beautiful facilities on the other side. So we're probably, I would say, we're not the middle of the pack. We're below the middle of the pack in terms of facilities, at least baseball field in the SWAC. So that needs to improve. That certainly helps in recruiting. So I hope, hopefully that's something that will get some kind of attention, some kind of love to help our baseball program would be nice. Again, I say this knowing that all the turnover that's been in the AD's chair for all these years, and baseball has been neglected in my what we've done is since I've been there, we being me and my coaching staff and the money that we've raised have put an irrigation system in. We've put a new batting facility in that was like a $70,000 batting facility. We've paid for new netting, new backstop, the cement backstop behind home plate, and numerous other things. Kelvin, I think you were instrumental in helping us solicit help from the student government to get the new scoreboard in, which is I think a $20,000 plus scoreboard. the other one looked like Chinese writing with all the lights that were out, before we got that one. So, so there's so much that needs to be done there. There's grandstand area, the playing surface is subpar. You mentioned that in the SWAC, and just in all honesty, and anybody can tell you that walks through, we're not only bottom, probably 8th in the SWAC in terms of facilities, baseball facilities, but heck, we're 3rd or 4th in the city, obviously behind Florida State and TCC and Childs High School, maybe even Leon High School. We may be 5th in the city in terms of
Yeah.
facility, and that
True.
doesn't bode well for recruiting.
TCC.
So, yeah, absolutely, TCC. Yeah. So, I hopefully that'll happen. Keep waiting for it too, and hopefully now's the time.
Okay.
Kofi, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna do my twofer like my brother Kelvin did because I might not get another chance. So Happy New Year. So really with that whole search, what was the difference with Tiffany Dawn Sykes? What did you like about her that gave you hope for the future?
So that's an easy answer. I'm going to show my age with this answer. I remember years ago when I was watching a guy that I actually played college baseball against, or professional baseball against, named John Elway. People don't realize that John Elway was a high draft choice for the Yankees in baseball as well. John Elway was getting ready for whatever Super Bowl they won back in the 70s, and they asked him, was he nervous? And his answer was, why would I be nervous if I'm prepared? And he showed that he was prepared and went out and won a Super Bowl. She was prepared. I remember years ago, and this is a long answer to a quick question, but that's the answer. Prepared. I remember years ago when I first got to FAMU, I wasn't pleased with where we were housing our guys on the road. I thought we could do better, so I sent it out that that we were gonna open it up to see who wanted our business, and the person I hired was not the person you would think I'd hired, but she came in and she was prepared, and she, everybody came in and said, okay, where do you want to stay? Where do you travel to? And this young lady came in and said, okay, I've got your schedule. These are the cities you travel to. These are the best hotels. I've got prices for them. It's just blew it away off, because she was prepared. Same thing went with Tiffany when it was her time to be interviewed. She was actually in a foreign country, I forget, Europe or somewhere. And it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. She had a one day to prepare. She wasn't on the initial list of candidates to be interviewed, but because someone dropped out, she was the filler, and she blew the interview away. And that showed me that she was comfortable, I think, everybody else. And so she was a long shot. As I said, she wasn't even mentioned in the top, whatever, 10, I think it was, that we were set to interview to begin the process after, taken from a pool of 50 candidates. So she showed she was prepared, and she didn't flinch. That's the whole key. There's some things in life you can't flinch with. And she answered every question, felt comfortable answering those questions. And, she said from day one that she wanted to be the AD at FAMU. And she said that for years. And so now she is, and I'm looking forward to seeing how, she takes this opportunity and really makes a name for herself and continues to grow FAMU.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to get my little magic wand. It's a pen, but I'm going to pretend as if this is a magic wand. Go on and get your water, Coach. You good?
Sorry.
I'm going to wave my magic wand right quick after you
Wave
use that
Kobe.
water real quick. And I'm going to say, a la peanut butter sandwiches, you get the opportunity to wave this magic wand and present your ideal vision right now. You got everything you need. What is your ideal vision for facilities at FAMU?
Turf, artificial turf, to make it easier for our guys when they get to the field to be able to practice without worrying about the 30 minutes it's going to take, plus sometimes to get the field ready, not having to fight the hassle to get somebody over to mow the grass, to get somebody to edge the field, to get get a machine every day to drag the field that we have to borrow from facilities, that we have to borrow from Julius and POM. To get a clubhouse at the baseball field so our guys don't have to dress over in Gaither and then drive to the to the baseball field, which is on the other end of campus. So facilities, I mean, that's the main need. That helps in so many areas. Recruit. Now it's expensive. Make no doubt about it. I mean, it's
I done
expensive.
waved my magic wand, Coach Shouppe. So
Oh,
we in the
good.
land of make believe. So just tell us what you want right quick.
Coach,
Tell
I
us what
appreciate
you
it.
want, Coach Shouppe. So it's
I
gonna happen.
appreciate
We
it.
gonna wave it real quick and just tell us what you want. What's ideal? We in the land of
Hey,
make believe right now. Keep going.
that's it. So wave that thing twice, man, to make sure it happens. Okay.
There we go. Yeah. So what about a stadium,
Hey,
Coach? No, seriously. Is stadium, restrooms, concessions. What is
Yeah.
your vision for that?
That's it. I mean, you named it. The field, the having a locker room at the field, having a good grandstand area that the fans are comfortable coming to and will come to, and I think they will. Having a concession stand, they have a mobile unit that comes in for some games, and having restrooms that you don't have to worry about the plumbing in that's not 50 years old. Right now we have water in our dugout, but not in the visiting team's dugout, because last time the plumbing in the bathroom messed up, they cut a line, and rather than repairing it, they didn't get the line set back up to the visitors' dugout. So just so many problems that come with facilities that are old. That's not, there's not somebody looking after it every day. That's the main thing with the field. I mean, there's nobody that, maintains it every day. So turf would be great. Grandstand would be great. Locker room would be great. Wave that magic wand. Let's go. Get it done.
Now, how long does it take to have that
PA system
installed?
would be great.
Say it again.
PA system would be great too.
PA system would be great as well. Yeah, absolutely.
So how long does it take to have the turf actually installed, Coach?
Probably about a 3-month process. I guess about a 3 months process. They can do it quicker. We had it set up. It was all ready to go at some point, and somewhere down the line it fell through. That was before last season. I think Kelvin alluded to it earlier. It was all set up, and then they were going to have to do it in December, try to do it in December and have it ready. Then it got pushed back to January or February. Never happened, and it still hasn't happened. So wave it. Mm-hmm. Wave that wand. Let's go.
We're waving that wand, Coach. We are waving that wand. And
I wish it were that easy.
I really believe, I'm just saying, I believe in you, and I believe in the program, and I believe in Rattler Nation. I believe that things are going to turn around in an expeditious manner for you and the program. You came in working, you came in grinding, you did not make excuses, you found a way to get it done. And I personally want to say that I appreciate you and all that you have done for Rattler Nation. It's a big deal because, whether people realize it or not, we are a baseball school. It is, it's not football, but traditionally we do well in baseball, largely because we're in the state of Florida and, all of that stuff, man. But I'm cheering for you. I'm praying that everything that you desire, everything that you need, and then some will manifest. So really with Ted Turner, was that a rumor that Ted Turner was going to give us some stuff? Or was that made up, or is that any truth to that? And if there is any truth to that, do we need to get Ted Turner on the phone and call him back and see what he can do?
Yeah, call him up. I'd heard the same rumors. I don't know. I don't know if that were true or not. I heard that he was ready to go, and the rumors I heard was that he wanted to use one construction company, and FAMU, I think, was obligated to use a different construction company, and because of that, there was a parting of the ways. But that's just rumors. Who knows? All we know is it didn't happen. I know that for sure. But there is a lot of tradition at FAMU. When you talk about Hal McRae, the first black manager in Major League Baseball, when you talk about Vince Coleman and all the stolen bases he had, you talk about obviously the only Hall of Famer from Tallahassee that played at a school in Tallahassee. Florida State doesn't have one. They may one day with Buster soon. But Andre Dawson, the namesake of the tournament we'll play in second weekend in New Orleans, the Andre Dawson Classic. Marquise Grissom from up in Atlanta. There's so much tradition here. Coach Lucas, we're going to play the third weekend in the Gar Lucas Classic in Atlanta, named after Coach Lucas's brother, Bill Lucas, who was the first black general manager. Ted Turner hired him with the Braves. I think that was the reason that he was going to donate money to build a stadium at FAMU, because of his connection with his brother, with Bill Lucas. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I do know there's a lot of tradition, baseball tradition at FAMU, and we're going to try to continue to grow that tradition. I love what we do. I mean, I probably should avoid this statement, but I'm going to say this. I love what we do. I get sometimes I get criticized for not recruiting enough black athletes. I try, but what I tell people is, there are a lot of historical black colleges that at one time were all white. There's some that are all black. There's some that are majority of Latino. When you look at Alabama State and their program, because their coach is Latino. We're not any of that. We're not all white. We're not all black. We're not all Latino. We're all together. And I think
All
what
together.
we have
Let's
is
go.
special. What we have is special because our kids get along so well. I mean, years ago, we had a kid that was a white kid that played. He had a roommate that was black and a roommate that was Puerto Rico. He got a great job, and he's hired both those guys to work for him. And now their families are, beneficiaries of having good money and a good life. And that's beautiful to me, man. That's that may be not
Yes.
what everybody wants to hear, but that's what this country needs to hear as much as anything. I'm sure y'all
All
probably
together.
talk football
Speak it.
about DeMar
Speak it,
Hamlin.
Coach.
Yeah, about
We
DeMar
went.
Hamlin, how everybody was unified behind what they saw happen to him. And that was a beautiful story. It ended up being a very beautiful story because of the recovery that he's now, going through, and a miracle, basically. But I love what we do, man. I love my kids, all of them. And they know that all they got to do is pick up the phone and call me. We make sure we spend plenty of time, because when I was at Florida State for all those years, it was a realistic thought for half of those kids to have professional aspirations. That may not be the case with us. So their professional aspirations may not be professional baseball, but professional business or professional, whatever they study, professional teacher or whatever.
Right.
So we stress academics to our kids. We love on them. We've never had a kid that I know of, regardless of color, that didn't enjoy playing for us. And so I look forward to going to the field every day. And I think one thing I wanted to do when I got here was set up a system that not only did I look forward to going to practice, but the kids that played didn't come to practice because they had to, but they came to practice because they want to. Anybody just come out and spend some time watching our kids, how they get along through practice, I think they'll leave being fans. Maybe not of FAMU baseball, but of what they see in the dugout from our young men that represent FAMU.
Has King Griffey, I know it's someplace for the football team, but has King Griffey Jr. been down to the baseball field at all? Have you met him?
Unbelievable. So when his son was coming in on his official visit, Coach Simmons brought him over to the baseball field, and we stopped practice. Obviously, I'm heavy time, even though we're on a clock. In January when we start practice, or February when we were practicing, we stopped practice so that King Griffey could talk to our players. And Willie kind of got mad. Coach Simmons kind of got mad, and I was ready to practice, and he needed to go, with some other recruits and do some things, because an hour later, King Griffey was still talking to our players. He's just a baseball guy, and our guys were eating it up. At the end, everybody wanted to take a picture with him, a group picture, team picture with King Griffey. And at the end, they wanted to do a tribute picture, which means they all turned their, hat around backwards like Junior wore when he played. And it was a special time for us. He is a great guy and a great baseball guy. We've also had Dusty Baker, just won the World
Yes.
Series with the Houston Astros
Yes,
team that
sir.
I played for. Talked to our team, same situation. Before we were headed to Alabama State like 3 years ago to play a midweek game before we went to SWAC, he came by and spoke to our guys, and it was the same thing. What was supposed to be a 15, 20-minute meeting turned into an hour meeting, and I wasn't going to say a word. I was just going to let those guys enjoy being in the presence of a great big league player and a future Hall of Famer. So we've had some, David Ross, Cubs managers, come and spoke to our team, several big leaguers. mention those two as well. Ralph Garr, when we play in the Lucas Garr Classic, Ralph Garr was one of my idols coming up, the Roadrunner, when he played leadoff hitter for the Braves years ago. So we try to get as many of those guys that have done well in baseball, but also done well in life, and just are good people to talk to our guys. And hopefully some of that rubs off with them, on them during the time that they're with us and playing for us.
How about, Coach? Thank you.
All right, yeah. Coach, we as always, man, we appreciate time. I got a chill on my arm. We talk about, man. We got time now, but I'm like, holy cow, we can end up talking baseball for like the next 2 hours. And I mean, you got me in that. I'm loving baseball. I've always loved it, but it's always a pleasure talking with you about baseball, about family baseball, and we are 100% in your corner. Everything we can do, we will continue to let people with money know, and people who make decisions know. And hey, the season opens February 17th through the 19th. It's a home series on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against Eastern Illinois. Most important, Rattler Nation, and we're going to talk about this after the commercial break. We've got a great home schedule, and we're going to talk about that more, Coach. So we're going to pump up and let know that you guys got a great home schedule this year, and we got to get people coming. We got to get people buying season ticket packages, whatever we can do, so that, hey, we got to generate the revenue ourselves, to build and do some of these things that we want to do. So that's what we're going to do on the other side, Coach. But thank you for your time this evening. Any final thoughts you want to leave us with before we head to break?
No, jokingly, I was just going to say that I can talk baseball all day, but we need to start before 9 o'clock because I am getting a little older and it's getting way past my bedtime here as well. But no, I just want to say I appreciate you guys and all you've done. All you guys have supported us, and that's greatly appreciated. And it's made it easier for me coming to FAMU and trying to build a program that would be something that FAMU, not only now but for years to come would be proud of. So. Happy that I'm here. I'm happy for our young men, and I still think the best is yet to come for FAMU baseball.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we're looking forward to the season opener, February 17th. You're going to hear more about the season over the next couple weeks from us. Coach, thanks for your time tonight. Good health during these next 4 weeks, because we know that's very important. So everybody stay healthy, stay well, and we look forward to seeing you when the season gets ready to start, okay?
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
All
Coach.
right. That's Coach Jamey Shouppe. Break. Come back after these words. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. We'll be back in just a moment.